Okay, Sous Vide 101. Step 1. Get good meat. For this we have about 1.5 pounds of Teris Major. Should come out very similar to tri-tip. This happens to be Wagyu cut of it. See some nice striations. Okay, there you have it. I chose to vacuum seal these separately just in case. Changed my mind on not cooking both of them at the same time, but come on, who doesn't want lots of meat? The other pro tip I have is make sure the meat is kind of dry when you put it in there, so you get a good seal. A lot of liquid tends to make these vacuum pack seals fail. Also, another option for you is, and it's really up to you, do you want to put any herbs in here? So if you have rosemary, thyme, or anything like that, maybe throw a little rosemary, thyme, and butter in the bag here, and that way when it boils, when it's sous videing, you get a little bit extra flavor in it. I didn't have any on hand, so I'm just doing it. Nothing special, no meat, no liquids, no marinade, no seasoning. All it is meat in the bag. Pretty simple. One more comment. Meal prep. You can totally do this ahead of time. You can go to the Butcher Shoppe on Monday morning, package it up, and do this midweek. These things will sit fine in the refrigerator for a few days. Probably could even freeze them. So you get some good meat on sale. You want to go ahead and break it down, vacuum seal them all, throw them in the freezer. That works too. I got a nice T-bone in here that I'm doing that same thing here. So do it too. Okay, it's go time. Got my Innova sous vide ready. I'm going to choose to cook this at 126. That'll get me on the close to medium rare, and I'm going to cook this every bit of probably 2.5, 3 hours or so, just because I want to make sure it gets nice and tender. All I'm doing here is nothing real technical. I'm just going to drop these in there, make sure we get good circulation and they're not blocking anything. And it is currently just before 4 o'clock. It'll probably take another 10-15 minutes to get up to temperature, and we're going to let this go. Pretty simple. And just like that, like I said, just close to 4 o'clock, we hit temperature. A little sneak peek on some of the seasonings. And we're going to let this sucker cook for about 3 hours. Further to my point about freezing meat, you could totally start off with a frozen T-bone, take it out of the freezer, drop it in your sous vide, and go from there if you wanted to. Okay, here we are, going on about 3.5 hours later. These 2 pieces of meat have been sous vide at 126 degrees. Taken them out and patted them dry. It is the most unappealing piece of meat you've probably seen, but we're not quite there yet. I'm gonna throw a little bit of oil on it, maybe a little coconut oil or something like that. Then I'm gonna season it how I like it. Typically, I like just old Canadian, what do you call it, Montreal steak seasoning. Butcher Shoppe has some great stuff. Every now and then, maybe some steak rub, AP seasoning, whatever. Got some special sauce here, steak rub. So I'm gonna doctor it up how I see fit. Drink a little cocktail and get this bad boy seasoned up. Okay, there you have it. Basically, I just use the char crusted coating, maybe a little bit of AP seasoning. It looks pretty good. So get it on there however you like it, nice and thick. However you want salt and pepper, you do you. Whatever makes you happy. Next step is going to be sear this thing about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes per side. Always use a good meat thermometer to check your internal temperature. That's it on the floor. Don't drop it. All right, there you have it. Have a nicely seasoned strip of steak. You can put as much or as little as you want. Kind of depends on the crust you want. In this case, I put a little bit of AP seasoning and some of this char crusted stuff. You're gonna want your handy dandy meat thermometer and your cocktail. I'm gonna bring this outside on the green egg, get that thing up about as hot as it'll go. 700 degrees, got it on a flat iron, cast iron griddle, and I'm gonna sear each side maybe about a minute and a half. Going probably for an internal temperature of no more than 140. Probably look for like maybe 135 or so, and go for a medium rare. Let's see what happens. Okay, to steal a line from Salt Cracker, while we wait, we hydrate. I like a nice red wine with my steak. Go ahead and pour me a nice healthy glass. Let that open up a little bit, and it'll be ready by the time we get back. That's gonna look good. Looking good, gonna taste good. Yes, my outdoor kitchen can use some help, but look at that. Oh, that's looking good. Oh boy, that's looking good. So, got the grill pretty doggone hot. I could probably squeeze another 50 degrees, but it doesn't matter. And we are about ready to throw these big bad boys on. So, nice and hot. About 1 minute each side. Minute and a half. Let's see what happens. All right, we're going on just a little over 2 minutes, probably close to 3 minutes. I'm reading 108 in this one. Like I said, I pulled them out 115, 110. I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid. Let this go just about another minute or so. Let's see what happens. All right, 1 minute on the first side. Got a nice little crust going. Do 1 more minute on the second side. Then I'm gonna check the temperature, see where we're at. Since I took them off out of the sous vide and kind of let them cool a little bit more, it's probably gonna take a little while to get up to a satisfactory temperature. But that's okay. That just means I'm gonna end up getting more crust than I thought. Stay tuned. Okay, we've run about 4.5 minutes in. Had the dome closed. Let's try and get this internal temperature up a little bit more. Let's see where we're at. 110 in the middle, still a little low. 120, that one's getting closer. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try something different. I'm gonna put this over on the other side, off the center. See if I can get that heat up and get that temperature up a little bit like I want it. All right, we'll let these jokers just rest a little bit. A little butter on top. See what happens. All right, it's rested for a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this thing up. All right, there you have it. Teris Major, sous vide, finished on the green egg. Bon appetit. Nothing finishes off a good steak like some fancy ketchup.